And that has really cycled up as well. This is just a little bit older data right here, but it's moving south of DeWitt as well. So there's a hail and now a tornado potential with winds going away from the radar site and toward it. And I'm going to zoom way in there. DeWitt Municipal Airport, right there. It would be right over there that there would be that rotation. And that is a tornado-warned storm as of now. I'm going to back out and show you kind of what we're looking at here. This will be moving into the southern part of Phillips County in fairly short order, but it'll be moving across that southern part of Arkansas County. Whether or not there's a tornado with this, we're going to get into that safe spot in our house. Lowest floor, most interior spot, away from exterior walls and windows. On up into Phillips County, there's severe thunderstorm warning as well. Hail has been a threat with that. I don't see any obvious signs of rotation, but there's a lot of wind moving toward Marvel. Hail threat there, lower. The storm near DeWitt, though, is the strongest storm. And then we have another storm off to the west, and this one is a severe thunderstorm warned storm that's crossing the I-530 corridor, Redfield down to Jefferson and Whitehall, and so it'll be moving right across the highway there. And I don't see any sign of rotation with that, but it looks like it could have some wind. Hail threat, I think really low with that, but not non-existent. I'd say small hail, certainly a possibility with this storm as it moves to the north of Pine Bluff. So this is in between Little Rock and Pine Bluff. The storm that is tornado warned, though, is near DeWitt, and we're going to continue to watch this as it moves on through. Can we take our other source, and it will show on Storm Scan, kind of another perspective of the wind field inside of this. It's out to the southeast of DeWitt that we see that rotation, and I think our Storm Scan shows it maybe just a touch better, and there it is right there. And you can see just a small area where there could be some winds coming back toward the radar site and going away from it. And so it would be this area just to the southeast of DeWitt, east of Highway 165, south of the very small community of Van. There's St. Charles up there. And going back just a few frames, we can see that this had wind potential with it. And as it moved just to the south, the rotation moved just on the south side of DeWitt, crossed the highway there, and continues to move off to the east. Now, this will likely cycle back down. We hope that is the case, but it certainly has some hail potential, not as great as it did. The rotation is the part of it that we just kind of don't really like to see. I'm monitoring the National Weather Service from Little Rock to see what they're looking at with this storm. They're going to continue it, kind of pare it down just a little bit, the back edge as it moves on through. But for now, there's another scan that just came in, and I'll give you kind of point of reference there. This is well to the southeast of Stuttgart, southern Arkansas County, and then I want to zoom right in on it for you. And there's just that little bit of a notch with winds flowing away from the radar site, and at least a little notch where they're maybe trying to rotate around a small center. This is about a mile up that it's looking, though, due to the curvature of the Earth from the National Weather Service radar site in North Little Rock. And so we can't tell exactly what it's doing in the lowest levels of the atmosphere, but it's a fairly low area. A mile or below, you're seeing some indication of rotation. The National Weather Service says they're coordinating a small severe thunderstorm watch for southern Arkansas with Storm Prediction Center. So this is going to be going on for a while in the southern part of the state. We can go back to, let's go back to our other source if we can. And there you'll see the 3 severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect, pardon me, including Jefferson County. And then the one that's in Arkansas County there, and it's attendant tornado warning, which is now out to the southeast of DeWitt. A lot of farmland out there, a lot of timberland eventually as it moves over closer to the river. And this is the reason for the tornado warning. For right now, I'm going to save this, and we're going to go right now and just show you what's left of that tornado watch. But this is going to be extended southward. A small part of southern Arkansas will be included in a new watch. And I think probably what we're looking at is an area somewhere like this that could be included in a severe thunderstorm watch for a few more hours just given what we're seeing on the radar. All right, there's the look of these storms right now. See a couple of more storms. Fordyce up to Risen, near Grady. Those are certainly not severe warned. And the one that is in northwestern Jefferson County just doesn't have a lot going for it other than maybe, boy, it doesn't even have much of a hail threat with it right now. There is some wind along with it, some blowing out wind, and that's, I think, why the National Weather Service is looking at that storm. Certainly the one over in Phillips County, and again, I'm looking mostly at the wind inside of these storms rather than this large blob of precipitation. We can see a lot better if we go into the velocity product on this, and you can see that notch that I'm talking about right there. It's just moving around. A little circulation center. This wouldn't be a large tornado if it is producing a tornado at all, but it's something that we're going to continue to watch as it makes its way through the southern part of Phillips County. It'll eventually then move over into this is Jefferson County. Arkansas County, sorry, over into Phillips County would be its eventual course. So that's the tornado warned storm. That's why, because of that notch right there, the National Weather Service has chosen to issue a tornado warning with this storm. Hail product on that, still showing quite a hail core, and that looks like to me that it could be rather large hail. This going up to ping pong ball sized hail. So those are some of the threats that we're encountering with this storm. I'm going to put it into motion for you over the last 30 minutes, and you can see how it's moved fairly quickly off to the east, 35 to 40 miles per hour off to the east into a largely rural area of Arkansas County there, and it would be moving north of Gillette and Tishner, places like that. It'll be moving south of St. Charles with its little bit of an indication of rotation there, but there is some strong wind coming away from that radar side, and that's why the National Weather Service, I think, is going to hang on to that tornado warning. A little bit of wind coming back toward it there. That's the velocity product that is so important as we're looking at this. This could be producing a small spin-up tornado. These would not be large, long-track tornadoes in our area tonight. That has been reserved for an area on up to the north of us. And as we back out, you can see the storms that have been going on up to the northeast, and a lot of tornado warnings still in effect for Kentucky. But for here in Arkansas, we're seeing just a few storms really all night. Not many at all, but the ones that did develop had some hail potential, generally speaking, and now they're transitioning to maybe a little more of a wind potential. The storm that's north of Pine Bluff looks like a strong thunderstorm to me. I'm not sure that it's a severe thunderstorm, but the hail potential now has just about gone away with that storm, and the wind potential doesn't look very great at all. I'm going to see what the National Weather Service says maybe about that. Grant and Jefferson County, they're going to continue that, it looks like. And that was just a few minutes ago that they indicated that. So they're going to hang on to that warning. I will tell you, though, that I don't think the storm in Jefferson County is nearly as strong. So hopefully that eases your mind some. But we're going to continue to watch it, though, with some small hail moving through places like north of Whitehall and up to Sherrill. And, yeah, it could be some strong and gusty winds with that. In fact, I think winds are probably gusting at 30 to 40 miles per hour along with that storm. Our storm that we're really concentrating on is the tornado warned storm. It is out to the east of DeWitt right now. And hail-wise, still has some potential kind of on the backside of it. Wind-wise, there is still that small notch right there. And the winds are really picking up out in advance of it. So that's why that is being issued. And there's the rotation center. If you can ever see those two areas coming like that, or a little notch on the wind field, that's why the National Weather Service does warn those thunderstorms. And on a night like this, it's not our primary threat. In fact, the atmosphere is not very conducive to tornado development tonight. But you can have those small spin-ups when these transition from hail producers to wind producers. And when the wind rushes out, you can have kind of on the back side of that a little bit of a kind of an eddy. Kind of like if you're moving in a boat and the water, and you're moving along, and the water swirls back in behind the boat. Well, that's kind of the instance that we're looking at with this. And as we continue to watch for new radar scans, and I think the last radar scan may not be quite as pronounced as it was. We're still looking at that area. But yeah, there's our storm scan and probability of severe hail. Certainly it's there. Radar estimates 1.5-inch diameter hail, but that's looking up at about 6,000 feet up. So all of that may not be making it to the ground, or at least at that size. It may melt some before it gets down to the ground. Here's what the storm looks like. Certainly it's a big rain producer. And then velocity-wise, we still are just watching that. I think it looks a little muddier than it did. Not to say that it's not a wind producer, because I think it definitely could be. But in this rural area of far southeast Arkansas County, I think there could be some wind along with that. And that's what we're going to continue to watch. I'm going to put this into motion for you, just the wind product of it. You can see kind of those bright colors south of DeWitt there. Really started to blossom, and now I just don't think it looks quite as formidable as it did a little bit earlier on. But we still have a tornado warning in effect far southeastern Arkansas County. The other storm that we're looking at is north of Pine Bluff now, northern Jefferson County. No rotation with it. Hail threat. Boy, just about near nothing with that. Obviously, the largest storm, I'm just looking at the hail threat right now, that largest storm is southeastern Arkansas County for sure. And severe hail, there's also a threat there. But the storm north of Pine Bluff, it doesn't look very strong. We're going to watch the storm east of Fordyce. I think it has some hail threat with it, could be growing. And we're going to watch all of these storms as long as they are going. I'll break in as little as I can, but we want to keep you updated on all of these storms, including the tornado warning that we have right now, and the National Weather Service is continuing to let that go. 12:15 is the official end time for it, but it may be canceled before that. In fact, I think it probably will. And the National Weather Service has indeed said that same thing. They plan to cancel shortly, and the reason why just doesn't look like that notch, that little notch, that propensity for it to rotate is kind of as strong as it was. And that's good news. We're always glad to see that. But I'm going to show you the velocity product there. Still just bowing out with some wind, a little notch. I think it's about, though, to run its course as far as that is concerned, or tornado warning is concerned. But we'll continue to watch it as it then progresses out into that southern part of Phillips County, Elaine down to Lundell and Lambrook, and then close to the Mississippi River here in not too long a time. The other storm we're watching is the one north of Pine Bluff. No rotation that I see at all. Hail, I don't see hardly any at all. Maybe tiny hail out to the west of Altimer and near the Pine Bluff Arsenal. But that would be very, very small in diameter hail. And so we've got both of those storms that we're watching. This one is severe thunderstorm warned in Jefferson County. And now in Arkansas County, this tornado warning has been canceled. I'm going to look at the wind field with it just one more time. It's about to move off to the east and move over the White River, the lower part of the White River there, and the White River Wildlife Refuge, and move off to the east into other largely rural farmland, timberland and farmland off to the east of there. So no tornado warnings now in effect for the state. We will watch this storm near Fordyce, near Kingsland now, off to the east of Fordyce. No rotation, hardly any hail along with it. But we're going to watch for that threat, just a very small indication of some hail. And a new severe thunderstorm watch could be issued for a small part of South Arkansas, just where these storms are, and we may have to keep a watch. In fact, if we can go to our other source, I think they just issued that severe thunderstorm watch, and it includes an area that covers all the way down into southeastern Arkansas. I don't think this threat's going to last forever. The areas in blue right there is what we're looking at. Little Rock now, you probably guessed it, but we're out of the tornado watch. Lonoke County, for some reason, is still in the tornado watch. I'm not sure why, and Prairie County, but you really don't have any threat there. or on up into Woodruff County. So you can rest easy for tonight. We're watching east and south of there are a couple of storms out in western Arkansas, or at least showers anyway, but those don't look to be severe at all. All right, for now, we've got a few severe thunderstorm warnings, including that area around Pine Bluff, and we're going to continue to watch that storm. It does not look like a super strong storm. Strongest storm is moving out of Arkansas County, and it will be headed over into the southern part of Phillips County. Keep it right here on Channel 7. As always, we'll keep you informed, and if any of these storms start to rotate, we'll be on just like that.